Hello everybody, welcome to another reaction video. Today I'm going to react to Everyone Hates the Acolyte as Much Disney Hates Star Wars by Nerdrotic. It came out a day or two maybe, and I'm a little bit late to the party, but that's because my first week of vacation has just arrived, so I'm just going to be mostly outside and that sort of thing. So don't expect a lot of videos. I might be recording some today here and there and release them over time, but yeah, let's jump into this. Well, I have not seen the Acolyte. I've seen some videos and reviews on it, and I'm just I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Car passing by. It's so fascinating. I have said this before in my other Star Wars reaction videos, and I gotta say, it's fascinating. It's literally the Roman Empire splitting in half, and the Western Roman Empire Star Wars, and it's just unstable. It's collapsing. Just I'm so glad that I pretty much denounce my Star Wars fanboy sort of way, because I feel like if this came out maybe let's say 8 years ago, when I was kind of like a Star Wars fanboy, yeah, probably I would be extremely angry and I would be vocal. Now I'm just I can talk about it, but I just don't feel anything for it. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you do. You're puppeting around. You're Disney. You're puppeting around a dead corpse. Like, that's disgusting. It's unethical. You are insane. Anyway, let's see what Nerdrotic have to say about it. I hope it's gonna be good. It's around 12 minutes long.
Cultural critics like the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic have dubbed the show lore-breaking for its recent revelations, but their commentary isn't productive. Rather, it encourages bigotry and hatred over a show that's just...
Yeah, I also saw the one with the Star Wars Theory when they were changing the Wikipedia article for that, what's in Mundi, I think it was called, something like that. It just... And then the whole drama around those two, like, it is so fascinating as well that these people are just taking a side right now, and that side is not a good one. Excuse me, not a good one. If you have seen that exposure video that came out a couple of days ago, and it is, yeah, I hope he's going to bring it up, but I pretty much embargo Disney because they have the reason. Hopefully he's going to show it, but yeah, I'm not gonna say it. If he doesn't show it, then I'm going to explain it.
Just getting started.
What? It encourages bigotry and hatred over a show that's just getting started.
What the f? Power one. Power two.
Yeah, that's true.
The power of many. The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
Nerdrotic.com.
I didn't want to make this video, but considering the events of the last week where we found out that the Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars, we are, and that's the royal we, by the way.
That's literally what was he called, Ryan Johnson for Star Wars episode whatever the fuck it was called. I don't remember. I'm so glad I just don't remember that the title of that movie, even the second one of the sequels. And if you remember when it was released, and people were just criticizing it as hell, including me, and we were called all sorts of names like racist, sexist, fascist, alt-right, Nazi, all of these absolutely insane insults. Like, you gotta be mentally ill if you can't even take a single criticism.
The way the 14%
But
audience.
this is basically Disney's strategy nowadays for some reason. And as I said, I embargo Disney, and I am also embargoing anyone who has shareholding in Disney, by the way. You should do that too.
Score
You should. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're black, Asian. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Embargo Disney and Star Wars.
should be embarrassing for the reviewers and apparently the critical drinker and yours truly through our reviews of a poorly written streaming show are fostering hatred and bigotry. Keeping all that in mind, I have decided to reconsider and apologize for nothing. Let's
Yeah.
talk about The Acolyte episode 4. Previously on The Acolyte.
You lost your entire family. Your mothers, your sister.
I carried them. I created them.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
Disney Star Wars.
Where is their father?
They have no father.
You are not.
Ascension is about
Is that show even on nowadays?
walking through fear. It is about sacrificing a part of yourself, the power of many, instead of the power of one.
Time to die.
The Acolyte episode 4 is thankfully a very short 27 minutes and 11 seconds, not
Torture.
counting the previously on in
I can
credits,
imagine.
which quite frankly isn't enough to review, but thanks to the Acolyte's lead actress Amanda Stenberg providing us with some bonus content, now there is. The Acolyte episode 4 Day is filled with slow-moving establishing shots.
Yeah, I saw that absolutely dumbest cringe level video. Isn't she like Danish and her father is like a millionaire? Like, yeah, you are indeed oppressed and you truly live in a black ghetto community in LA.
Shots, multiple exposition scenes, characters slowly walking down hallways or slowly walking up to doors, characters talking to each other and not making much sense, and we're gonna skip all that. It opens up with an establishing shot of Planet Gobbledygook where we find the Wookiee cooking and possibly investigating the lesbian space witches. Man, at least we get to see a Jedi Wookiee fight, right? Can't wait for that. This is followed by a scene with Osha, who is coincidentally Osha trained to put out fires in space, crushing on X-23. And who couldn't see this coming with a Disney Star Wars product? Two young girls crushing on each other after roughly 4 minutes of screen time together. Now, to be fair to the House of Mouse, if they break up next episode, it checks out. Jedi Master Nepo does some girl bossing and quickly assesses that May was trained by a Jedi. How? From this
I gotta say girl
bossing and quickly assesses that
I gotta say the costumes here is just it's low quality. It just looks like they have bought a mattress in the closest IKEA, just throw it on their shoulder. It's just, what is this? Like, do you remember the Lord of the Ring, the trilogy? You remember all the armor, the leather armor, the chainmail armor and that sort of thing? Yeah. I think the budget was around 90 million for just one movie. And then you have this. Which have like what? Hundreds of millions for just one episode. And then you have Rings of Power with 1 billion and it just... Sorry if you're hearing hammering, the neighbors are working.
May was trained by a Jedi. How? From this hologram. The nepotism is strong with this one, but I'm not really sure how she figured it out. Maybe it was these awesome Jedi moves.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Have you ever seen that video of the climate activists when they're sitting on a road and just there's one man who's just so fed up with it, he just walk out and just rip away their signs and that sort of thing, and the climate activist just stands up and just doing this ninja moves like preparing for the fight, like, and the guy just just sit down.
Then
pretty
Jedi
much.
Master Nepo spends the rest of the scene trying to figure out what the hell Jedi Master Soul is saying.
May's objective is not solely her own.
And despite
I'm not blaming the actor. He's actually pretty good in the Squid. He was actually pretty good. So I'm not blaming him for having like a strong accent like me, in many ways. And sorry again.
Is not solely her own.
That makeup just looks so bad. Wasn't this the one of the relative or something that to the director or something? Corruption goes deep in LucasArts, as always. But this just looks bad. This it literally looks like they've just sprayed, painted, like those pattern on a paper and just. Now you're done. Go to the sets.
And despite absolutely nothing happening in this episode, Leslie Headland wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to once again take George Lucas's lore to Harvey's couch. Hey, remember the guy who said this in The Phantom Menace?
Impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
This is Jedi Master Conehead, or Ki-Adi-Mundi, who wasn't supposed to be born at this time until, of course, Disney Star Wars decided to retroactively destroy more lore. And honestly, that's the least of this scene's problems, because apparently there's a deleted scene out there where after saying that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium, he follows that up with, except for that time we ran across a coven of lesbian space witches where two of them managed to conceive twin daughters without a father, who went...
They're going to delete that. They are going to remove that scene from, I think it was episode 1, right? When Qui-Gon is interrogated about the events of Tatooine. They are going to delete that, absolutely. Or just, as I said, like, put in maybe a new dialogue, something. It's guaranteed they're gonna do it.
Incidentally, didn't look anything like their mother. I mean, where are the horns? But they were created by this thing called the Thread. So that really dark lord-looking dude carrying around a red lightsaber who trained May couldn't possibly be a Sith. It's not important. Please keep in mind this is the same Disney Star Wars that's been destroying George Lucas's lore for years and doing things like having Han Solo walk into a lightsaber, Luke Skywalker overdosing on the Force, Princess Leia died. Not really sure how. Somehow, Emperor Palpatine returned, and their one-hit series is a repurposed Boba Fett and a repurposed Yoda. And when they got around to doing a Boba Fett series, they made him Boba Fett.
And I tried to cut back on the beers so the stomach wouldn't be out too far.
And then there's Obi-Wan Kenobi, whose sole purpose was to watch Luke Skywalker until Disney Star Wars got a hold of him, and he decides to fuck off twice to fight Darth Vader twice and not mention it later, meet a toddler Princess Leia that Princess Leia fails to mention later, and the Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi had a real hard time getting through a gate he could clearly walk around, and Ahsoka being alive to usurp Luke Skywalker's story. In other words, it's on brand for modern Disney Lucasfilm. Anyway, Sol and Jedi Master Nepo devise a plan to once again use Osha as bait to draw out May. And this brings us to the most poignant scene in all of the Acolyte, the use of pronouns in live-action Disney Star Wars.
Is he or they with us?
Sorry, I gotta check something. Sorry for that. My dog was downstairs and going around and doing some things. I don't know, cats, whatever.
Disney Star Wars.
Is he or they with us?
And the rest of the 27-minute episode is spent with the clueless Jedi in a race to get to Kelnaka, the Wookiee Jedi, before Asian Ezra Miller and May. Then we get a heel turn that might give you whiplash. May is good now. You heard me right.
It's like... It's hurtful in my mind.
Need to do this anymore. I don't need to kill a Jedi without a weapon. I don't need to keep this deal. What? Osha being alive changes everything. My loyalty is to Osha, not your master. What I'm going to do is surrender myself to Kelnaka and then turn myself into the Jedi. No.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
And this shouldn't surprise anyone. Nobody thought
that's
that.
remind me. I played that Still Deeps Awake, something like that. Oh my god, I'm gonna do a review on that one after this. It's such an amazing video game. Holy shit.
Male antagonist was actually going to be evil. Of course she's going to be oppressed somehow, and her actions will be justified, even being responsible for the death of 2 Jedi.
Down with the patriarchy.
And leave it to a Disney Star Wars Gen Z villain to give up on revenge because it's hard. This brings us to Kelnaka, the Jedi Wookiee, arguably the most compelling thing about this series. It would have been awesome to see him fight, right? Well, he dies off screen. And what was the reason we didn't get to see a Jedi Wookiee fight? The budget. Listen, guys, they only had $180 million. What do you expect? And after sitting through 27 minutes and 11 seconds of an episode that felt like it was 2 hours long, you would think this Disney Star Wars intricately written story would lead to something after we had 2 girls crushing on each other, pronouns in space, and a Wookiee Jedi killed off screen. Nah, Smilo Ren shows up and pushes a bunch of Jedi. And the big mystery to the 5s and 10s of people who are actually interested in the show is, who is Smilo Ren? Is it Asian Ezra Miller? It could be, but I'm leaning towards something like this. Credit to Disney Star Wars for not making an episode as bad as the previous. The good news with the Acolyte, we're halfway through the season. The bad news, we're only halfway through the season. And just when you think things couldn't get worse for Lucasfilm, they do. Series star Amandla Stenberg, who has the amazing ability to play 2 characters exactly the same way with the exact same haircut, decided to come out with a diss track against Star Wars fans. A diss track that Amandla feels so strongly about that she's copyright claiming absolutely everyone who posts it on X or YouTube. In what's likely an industry first, a TV show star has written and released a song and a music video complete with dance moves in response to racist backlash against the show.
So bold. Yeah, because all Star Wars fans or former Star Wars fans have always been white people, especially those who are like so white you can see them. Like, as I said in my previous videos, I had people who are Arab descendants, African descendants, Far Eastern Asian descendants who used to love Star Wars. Now they are absolutely hating. I did show. I've said I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to bring it up by the end. If he doesn't.
Strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
A song with a chorus, and I quote, "We so bored, don't fuck with yo discourse." Yet, you made an entire song about it. Now, most of this song is in response to End Wokeness putting up an older interview with Trevor Noah where Amandla Stenberg says she wants to make white people cry. That had nothing to do with the Acolyte. Because taking things out of context to support a narrative.
So she's racist. Big surprise.
Doesn't help anyone. I want you to remember that. Amandla Stenberg, the adult pretender who's worth $3 million, speaks mostly of oppression in her song, but she also says this. Speaking of which, journalists, I'm looking at you. Did you forget it's your job to provide the truth? Spreading divisiveness, mining the metrics and date. Seem you gave up on all your ethics for money and views, and I can tell you that people are tired. Yes, they are, because you can absolutely apply what you said there to Disney, the company you work for. And the kids don't trust anything they view, and you're right. But you don't have to worry about that with the Acolyte because no kids are watching it. Another lyric from the song by adult pretender worth $3 million, Amandla Stenberg. And now you listening, I'ma tell you something fascinating. They spinning woke, bastardizing it, and appropriating it. Last I recall, woke was something we created. Did you create it, Amandla? Speak truth to power. I don't hate to break this to you.
Yeah, because if I remember the word woke, isn't that like a slang word for awaken or something like that? To awake? That was kind of like used by the African American communities back in the like 60s, I think. It started to pop up, but she didn't create it because because she wasn't around back then, so she cannot say weak rated. No, you did not. No. Your people, aren't you Danish? So, meh, if you have American citizenship as well, I think. But you're primarily Danish, so yeah, we.
To you, Amandla, and anyone else at Lucasfilm, because apparently you need to hear this again. You are the power. You work for one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world who owns ABC, ESPN, Hulu. They bought Fox for 72.
As I said, boycott all of this. Do it. I'm gonna tell you why.
$2 billion. They're a little influential. They're also, and forgive me if you've heard this one before, the same company that thanked a concentration camp in China for Mulan, covered up Chadwick Boseman's face on the Black Panther poster for China, shrunk Finn on the Force Awakens poster for China. A company well known for providing the discourse and gaslighting what's left of the divided fandom for years. Now, as far as Disney Star Wars is concerned, Amandla, you're just the latest shield they can hide behind to cover for a bad TV show. And your diss track takes things wildly out of context and conflates them to support a narrative. One that calls Star Wars fans, your potential paying customers, racist, which unfortunately is on brand for modern Disney. Here's how the game plan works. Preemptively attack your fans by calling them racist before your crappy show comes out. The show comes out, everyone says it's crappy. Continue to call the fans racist. One of the stars makes a video calling the fans racist. Access Media articles are written in support of the actor calling the fans racist. And then the inevitable support from Disney or Star Wars.
The evil cycle of not making money, fucking on over your consumers and your shareholder especially. Fuck Disney, fuck Star Wars.
Or both, calling the fans racist while supporting the actress. And please tell me when this has ever worked. The Acolyte is the Marvels of Star Wars. It was something that was predictably bad. We just didn't know how bad it would be. Recently, a Spaceballs sequel was announced, and it's well over a decade too late.
Oh, they're gonna... I heard about that, but that has been a rumor for a very long time. How the hell are they gonna do it? I mean, if Mel Brooks movies, I mean, if you show someone, excuse me, if you show one of those movies to someone who's very left-leaning today and, you know, easily offended, then how the hell is he gonna pull this off? I do love the Spaceball movie. It's actually really funny and awesome, but I'm a little bit worried if they're going to drop a lot of humor. I mean, I want some really offending humor in this one. It doesn't matter which people is going to offend. I want them all.
Because Disney Star Wars is the parody. And as far as independent reviewers fostering hatred and bigotry, the only ones I see doing that are Disney.
Certainly, there have been times where, you know, there's no way we're hiding away now.
This is what I'm talking about. So he did show it. This is the reason why you should boycott Disney. Fucking racism. I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're whatever. This is corporate racism. Boycott Disney. Fuck them over. This man either have to go or Disney have to do some really big fucking purge in their company to get rid of these people. They are insane. It's dangerous for these people to have money and power and influence. It's fucking dangerous.
Kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
how would they say it?
There's no way we're hiding away now. That's what
Nerdrotic.com.
Yeah, that it's racist. I don't care. Then people say, "Oh, would you react the same if he said, "Oh, we're not hiring black people for the role"?" Yes. Oh, you fucking insane. I would absolutely react in the same way, just like with Finn or John Boyega, how Disney was treating him, like absolutely mind-boggling and just disgusting how Disney has treated him. And yeah, this just make me fucking mad at these people. Aren't we supposed to be better than this? Huh? Where's the inclusivity? Where's the diversity? No white people. Okay, So why black people, why Asian people, why are they welcome and are not white? If you say all the white people are the same, are you kidding me? Have you ever seen the comparison between an Italian, a Scandinavian, a Caucasian, a Turkey, or a Russian versus a France? It's different. Just like anyone, any culture in Africa, in Asia, we're all different. We don't even have the same gut and color on our skin. This, to me, is just plain out racism against fucking humanity as a whole. Fuck Disney and fuck Star Wars. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Go and sub to Nerdrotic. He definitely did something great with this video, absolutely. This needs to be showcased. Absolutely. How could this happen to Star Wars? How could this happen? Just like with the Lord of the Rings, and it began pretty much with Star Trek. Then they would move over to the Marvels, and then Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and nothing is safe anymore. Dude, I actually wondering how George Lucas, what does he think? I mean, I have not heard anything from him, except for that the comment he made some years ago about the white slavery comment when he sold Disney, sold Star Wars to Disney. I'm very curious what he internally is feeling about this. If I was the creator or something, I mean, I love creating worlds. I love creating, like kind of like fantasy D&D sort of worlds to myself, and I even writing some books about it, but I haven't published anything. But someday, maybe. Right now, I like to just create for myself. But if I had something like this, the Star Wars, and you saw it being popped around a dead corpse, I would legitimately fucking cry, sort of way. Just like I want to know what Tolkien would feel, J.R.R. Tolkien would feel about, for example, Rings of Power. They are spinning in the grave. He's spinning in the grave right now. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you all later. As I said, go and sub to Nerdrotic.